Hi everyone, thanks very much for coming. My name is Sara Custer, I'm digital editor at Times Higher Education. And on the stage with me are some of the finalists for our Technological Innovation of the Year Award that will be announced tomorrow night at the inaugural THE Asia Awards. So what we're going to do is we've got about half an hour, so it's going to be a shorter session than the previous one. I'll introduce our panel, they'll give a brief presentation about their nominations, and then I'll open it up for some Q&A. So starting off with me, immediately to my left, we have Hossam Hamdy, who is the Chancellor of Gulf Medical University. Then we have Poline Bala, who's a Research Fellow at the Institute of Social Informatics and Technological Innovations at Universiti Malaysia Sarawak. And then at the end here, we've got Qinghua Zheng, who is Vice President of Xi'an Jiaotong University. Hossam, would you like to start off telling us about your nomination?
Okay. At Gulf Medical University, and for many years we have been adapting and adopting problem-based learning as one of the main strategies of learning. But as you all know, I've started introducing problem-based learning maybe for the last 35 years in different places. And I think it cannot continue as being a problem presented on paper and discussed. So what has happened that we managed to transform the problems, which is about cases, into a virtual patient, and not only being a cartoon or an avatar, but a human being. So we have used artificial intelligence to transform the scenarios which are written and the interaction with the patient by the students in order to learn and to go and find out. But not only that, the advantage of this innovation is that it captures also the communication skills. It captures the emotional reaction of this standardized patient to the interaction with the simulated doctor. We are using it in pharmacy, and we are using it in nursing, because all what we are doing is we are bringing a patient to the learning situation. Even the learner, he can take the patient home, and so long it's on his computer. And then we have moved from that of using it in assessment, because we believe that assessment also has to be authentic, as one of the presenters last panel was talking about. So we are using it in assessment, as we could have more than one station with a patient, so it can reduce the cost related to that and increase the fidelity and the authenticity of the learning, teaching, and the assessment.
Fantastic. That sounds like a really interesting way of using virtual reality to incorporate it into medical teaching. Poline, tell us about your nomination.
Our nomination from Universiti Malaysia Sarawak is on a virtual remote mechanism to manage our projects in the deepest forest in Malaysia. Since 1999, Universiti Malaysia Sarawak has embarked on an R&D in bridging digital divide between the urban and rural communities, as for the moment 40% of the population is still rural. So we have implemented a couple of projects, one of which is telecenter for Orang Asli settlements in 4 settlements in West Malaysia. And these settlements are out of the way locations, about 90 to 100 kilometers from the point of access, and require us to get special four-wheel drives on logging tracks to get to these villages. And the project is to provide access to health, education, tourism, agribusiness, and basically 6 different programs that we have implemented. Now, the issue for us is these projects are hard to reach, and especially during rainy seasons. Very unpredictable. Sometimes some of our team members have to sleep in the forest for about 2 to 3 days. Yeah? to solve certain problems. Now this has provided us in terms of challenges, in terms of manpower, time, and also operation cost. So we designed something called remote virtual control from the university, so we don't have to necessarily go on the ground. So there are 4 mechanisms that we put in place. One is the quick restart mechanism, that is to resolve intermittent problems 24/7 on the ground, so that we don't have to go to the on-site to solve the problem. So this is especially we set up an emergency switch so that we can control it from the university, which require us to get on a plane and then get on the road to reach these sites. The other one is the self-management portal guide, which is a self-troubleshooting guide on a computer to guide the caretakers, the local communities that we have trained. And these guys started from illiteracy of ICT, and then we've trained them. And so that will reduce our amount of going on the ground, but also a lot of things with technology, as we know, require experience. But this management portal helps them to do troubleshooting. And the other one is the self-training platform, which is due to the remoteness of this telecenter. So we have set up a platform for them to self-train themselves. So we manage this platform from the university through a synchronized system through iCloud, so we can upload the system, because as we know, technologies are obsolete, so we need to train and retrain. So that system is in place. And the other thing is the remote access management. That is sometimes, because being remote, the satellite connection can be up and down, and the power supplies can be unstable. But so we have set up this system so that during, let's say, when the time at the telecenter is less busy, this is the time we can upload things with given 30 minutes and automatically done from the university. So a lot of the training we do virtually from the university. We have set up a virtual lab in the university, and each of these telecenters become living lab in rural areas. We can do training from them through virtual means online. That's what we have done. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Poline. Some very interesting solutions to some very big challenges, I'm sure, for your institution. Maybe we can talk more about that in the Q&A. I'd like to go on to you, Dr. Zheng.
Okay, thank you. I'm from Xi'an Jiaotong University, and here, let me introduce my university briefly. Okay, Xi'an Jiaotong University was founded in 1896, about 123 years ago, in Shanghai, and its original name is Nanyang Public in Qing Dynasty, and was renamed Jiaotong University in 1921, and was moved from Shanghai to Xi'an in 1956, 63 years ago. So now Xi'an Jiaotong University is one of the top 9 universities in China, and is located in Xi'an. You know, Xi'an is an ancient city, about 3,100 years development, and Xi'an is the birthplace of Chinese civilization. And Xi'an Jiaotong University now is a comprehensive university, including science, engineering, art, education, philosophy, management, and medicine. So it is a comprehensive university. Now Xi'an Jiaotong University has 38,000 students, about half to half for bachelor's degree students and undergraduate students and graduate students. So there are 3,094 classrooms in Xi'an Jiaotong University. So we want to know what's the practical or the real situation of teaching quality. We how to know each classroom, each teacher's teaching quality, and how to know each student their study or learning efficiently or result. So we want to understand, we want to master each teacher, each classroom, each student's situation. So we developed a platform based on first class and second class, and harvest all of the student and teachers, each classroom's situation of every class. So, and collect all the students' information in our big data platform. Based on this platform, we can do 4 functions to realize 4 functions. First, we can know students, which class the students like to go to, and which teacher the student evaluation is higher and which is lower, so we can understand the situation of each teacher's class. And the second, we can evaluate the teaching quality. And the third, we can supervise the teacher's deficit of teaching, And the last, we can help or direct the student how to overcome the difficulty in learning. So, based on this, now this system has already been widely used in our each classroom and each lecture. Now, more than 100 universities visit our platform and want to deploy their university. So this is really useful to improve our university teaching quality, and we can really master each teacher's, each classroom, each student's situation of teaching or learning. So I think this is really, really useful for our improve not only technical problem, but also we started many mechanisms of management. For example, student office and teaching office, they how to collaborate each other, can efficiently improve their collaborate efficiency. So I think this is really useful for the management of teaching and students' office.
Great, really interesting. Sounds like learning management system homegrown there at Xi'an Jiaotong. As you can see, we have quite a variety of nominations in this category. So I have kind of a general question that I'd like to ask all of our finalists, and then I'll open it up to you guys. So if you've got some questions, maybe be thinking about what you'd like to ask. But my first question actually stems from something that you said, Poline, was talking about this ICT illiteracy that you came against whenever you were starting your project. And I'm wondering if that was something that you found, Hossam, or you, Qinghua, whenever you were starting this, kind of maybe an over-expectation that you had of your students' knowledge of using the technology that you were trying to introduce.
You mean it's how the students are able to use the technology or not?
Yeah, if you perhaps expected them to maybe naturally pick up something, or maybe with your staff to kind of naturally interact with it, and maybe you came across some challenges with that.
Yes, I can respond, at least from my experience. I think the students are better than us. They are the natives of using the technology. And actually, most of the learning is taking place through technology, ubiquitous learning everywhere. They are carrying their mobile. We follow them. They are in the hospitals. They are evaluated on the run in the hospitals. They capture experience and they send them by on their phone. So we don't have a big problem in using it. To go back to using virtual patient, actually it was very interesting. Actually, we have been conducting research on that and looking into student interest and measuring the student interest during the interaction with the virtual patient. We are looking at the degree of engagement, and all the results are coming showing a very high interest in working with this technology and in communicating and discussing with their colleagues, whether in the classroom or when they go home or they are outside of the university. So the students are actually you need to train the faculty more on how to use the technology and how not to, what they call it, regression back to the mean. That they found any problem, maybe the internet is not working, so let's go to paper, let's forget about the technology. So, so between training of the faculty and during the students, but the students are very adaptable to this, and actually they lead the innovation. They come up with ideas which improve the products. Now this product which I'm talking about, virtual learning, is used not only in our university. A startup company has been developed. Now they are using it in 26 universities in Egypt. Thousands of faculty have access to it. And in other countries, in Lebanon and other countries, they are also using it. This is how an innovation came up, not using innovation, but producing innovation and technology.
And that kind of really disseminating that. Pauline, did you want to comment on that question? Because it kind of came from something that you said about the challenges that you found.
Yeah, I mean, in our project, we deal with remote and rural communities. So many of them do not sometimes have access to education. And the interesting thing also is when we bring these new technologies, the older generation are also interested to learn about these new technologies. So we then have to design platform for them, training platform for them. And these technologies are normally in English or in Bahasa Malaysia, and they have their own native languages that we need to deal with. So we really need to look into that sometimes. So it's not just about illiteracy in terms of coming with technology, but also the language itself. There's the language barrier that we had to deal with.
What about you, Qinghua? I'm sure you probably came across some frustrated faculty members as you were trying to install your system.
In fact, in the beginning of our development, many teachers doubt of this system because maybe they are want of if the privacy will be disclosed for the students or teachers. This is very sensitive problem, you know. But in reality, we put their heart down. I see. You know, first in the reality, every manager of the system, every user, they can only access their part information. They are matched to their role, and they can't access all the informations. This is the first, and there are strict rules for every position because this is their obligation. They must obey these regulars. And the third, we have done much secure technologies in this system. For example, all of the privacy of students and teachers are saved, and the real name will be hidden. So we can't know who is the real person, you know. So and finally, every operation of this system will be recorded. So if someone operated this system, their login information and operation records will be saved, and we can trace their operation trace. You know. So we don't worry about the privacy secret. You know. So now this system has already applied in our university more than 3 years. No one their privacy is not disclosed. So
privacy obviously being a very, very important topic when we're talking about technology specifically. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Put your hands up. Great, more for me. I have a couple of questions. I'm just wondering, and perhaps this might not be the best group to be asking this question to, but I feel like technological solutions are quite easy to find for fields of science. And I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts about how technology could perhaps be incorporated in a more humanities or social sciences context.
Can I respond?
Please.
Well, I always say medicine is social science because it's about human beings, and it's about how human beings work together and interact. It's all about emotions, and that's why I found that this technology it can be used in the social science environment and expanding it into humanities in general. That's why part of our innovation, because there are other innovation or other systems which can demonstrate and can use artificial intelligence, but very few will be able of capturing the humanity part related to the education and the emotions related to that. And that's what we have been trying to use it. So definitely technology, artificial intelligence, whatever, is going to expand and more, but again, it's not going to replace humans. It will enable them, it will make them better in taking decisions, but still, when it comes down to human relationship, the human factor is always there.
From our experience working with technologies, we can't really separate it from humanities or social sciences. We have worked with different communities from Sabah, Sarawak, and now in Peninsular Malaysia. We have seen how values cultural background or physical terrain really affects the way people use technology, how they adopt and adapt the technology within their social cultural context or even their social political context, and also being being adapted to according to local challenges and also local needs. And so social sciences and the humanities provide a kind of vision or outlook to see how technologies can then adapt technologies within communities like that, specific communities with specific needs and specific challenges. Yeah.
Okay. I think with the big data platform, we can build a quality cultural system, and we technical is one side, but I think the most important is based on the big data and artificial intelligence platform. We can establish a new university quality cultural system. For example, we built a feedback system. Why we can find many deficits or problems in the classroom, and we can feedback to the teachers and the students, so that we can tell the teachers or students where is their deficit or their issues, so they can improve their teaching and to help students personalized to instruction them to improve their study efficiently.
There's a question.
Oh, great. Yes, we have 2.5 minutes, so yes, I will gladly hear from you. Let's get a mic coming. If anybody else has any question, no? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Although it's not my area, but using computer and laptops and mobile phones, when technological innovation becomes our forte too. I was just wondering that because these days we keep on hearing about artificial intelligence, AI, left, right, up and down. So I was just wondering while listening to you that will it be the cause of prosperity or perishing of the society?
Wow, a big question with 1.5 minutes to go. AI, will it be the cause of prosperity or perish of society? Who wants to tackle that one?
Well, I agree with them that everyone is talking about AI. Sometimes they get confused between what they talk about.
Is it kind of just like an all-encompassing?
Yeah, but it's we understand now that the big data and artificial intelligence, the way we are using it, it's more of a pattern recognition in a way. So there is a big data and pattern recognition. Even in this virtual patient learning is based on this. The artificial intelligence component is to create patterns between a question or an answer the doctor or the learner is asking it, and the reaction, and it goes like that. That's one aspect. But on the other hand, I was saying that technology will advance. Actually, it's changing now. We don't know what's going to happen. But what I can guarantee is not going to change for the next, I don't know, 50 years or 100 years, that in medicine, that the learner is still a human being, maybe. The teacher is still a human being to some extent. And the patient will be still human. And so how the humans talk to each other, we have to look into that. Technology can be used, but at the end, the human relationship will still continue, because still you can trust the machine in giving you a decision, do an operation on this patient, but still the patient wants to hear this from a human being, because even if we give the probability of success is 99%, how I know that I'm not in the 1%? So still the human being would be needed.
Great. Well, let's leave it on that positive note then. Please join me in thanking our panel for today.